Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to episode 5. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet right here. We are off to the gym. We're gonna train chest and arms, but before we do that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, or else, motherfucker. So jumping right into the workout here, I'm going to start it off with just a regular standard barbell bench press. If you've been following me on Instagram, you know that for a while I've been running the dumbbells for my bench pressing. However, at this gym, there is a lot of missing dumbbells, so that really limits my ability to progress there. The dumbbells, at least for the dumbbells that I work with, or the range of weights that I would be working with, it goes from 95s and then it jumps all the way to 115s, and then from 115s it jumps all the way to 130s. I've currently been working mostly with the 115s, but because it goes to the 130s after that, there's no way for me to really take progressions to make it to the 130s. So that's why I've decided to kind of just transition away from that and just go with the flat barbell bench, because here I can micro load my progressions and it'll just work out way better. Now, if I could dumbbell press, say, the 150s for reps or something like that, then it wouldn't really matter that this gym has those missing dumbbells I mentioned. However, for me, the closer I get to my working weight, the smaller I like to have my jumps be in my acclimation sets. So that's why I'm switching over here to bench press. Here, I can control all those factors. So if I want my last acclimation set, my last warm-up set to be 10 pounds away from whatever my working weight is going to be, I can control that. I can load whatever I want on the bar. So that's why I'm going to be switching over to the barbell bench press for the foreseeable future. And what you're seeing right here is how I typically will warm up on the bench press. So my first set is going to be, 15 to 20 reps with just the bar. And then I usually repeat that one more time just to make sure that everything is feeling good. I'll hit another set for that 15 to 20 reps with just the bar. After those two sets, then I usually throw a 45 on each side, and I usually do that for 8 to 10 reps. And then I get to what you're seeing now, which is a 45 and a 25. And I usually do that for, 3 to 5 reps depending on the day. If the warm-ups are feeling really, really good, I'll probably only do it for 3 reps. If it's, not feeling that great, I'll probably do it for 5 reps. Then after the 185, I usually take a jump up to 225. And from here, I do anywhere from 2 to 3 reps. And this is my set before my top set. So this is where the reps are going to be their lowest. This is just me getting acclimated to the weight that I'm going to do, or getting acclimated very close to the weight that I'm going to do. Now, it's been quite a long time since I've done just a flat barbell bench press. And although this is like a strength movement, it's also a skill movement. So because I haven't done it in quite a while, I'm not exactly sure, where my strength is. And it will go up over the weeks as I get more accustomed to doing the movement. So my rep range today was 6 to 12. And because I haven't done this movement in a long time, I wanted to err on the side of hitting higher reps. So based on how the 225 felt, I thought, going with 240 would probably be a good move here. I estimated I would get somewhere around 10 to 12 reps with 240. Ended up getting 12 on my top set right here. So overall, I was really happy with it. The movement did feel a bit rusty. Can't lie about that, but I know that over the next couple weeks, it'll get better and better. And right here is going to be my second and final set. So I was debating on going down to 225 and repping that out. But I thought, since I hit the top of my rep range, I'll go ahead and give 240 a try again. The reps shouldn't drop off too drastically. So I ended up getting 9 reps here. So first set was 12, second set was 9. Overall, I thought this went really well. So next week when I go in here, or next rotation when I go in here, I'll probably go with 250. see where that lands me, and then I'll make a decision on if I want to hit 250 again for my second set, or if I want to drop it down to something like 235 and get a little bit more reps there. All right, so just finished up with bench. Now I'm gonna go to this free motion press. It's like at a slight, very, very slight incline. I'm gonna do one set here in the 10 to 15 rep range, and I'm gonna have 2 feeder sets before I get there. The idea behind anytime you do a feeder set is not to tax the muscle anymore. It's just to get used to whatever movement you're going to and just make sure that you're ready to perform on your top set. So I did most of my feeder sets already on the bench press. There was, I don't know, 5 or 6 or something over there before I did my working sets. Now because my chest is already relatively warmed up, I'm only gonna do 2 feeder sets here, very low reps, and that's just to get a feeling of the movement itself. Another thing I want to point out about feeder sets and warm-up sets is that you should be just as focused during these sets as you are during your top set. You need to be taking your warm-up sets and your feeder sets very seriously. If you look at high-level athletes in any other sport, when they practice, they're going to be highly focused and highly concentrated during practice, because what they do in practice is what is going to reflect on game day. And in the gym, game day is your top set performance. So if you're not highly focused and paying attention to your warm-up sets, I can almost guarantee you that you are not going to perform to the best of your ability when you are going for your top sets. So make sure that when you're doing your warm-up sets, you are concentrated and you are focused on those. Then something that I'd like to point out during your top sets is your ability to stay in these sets, to stay focused, to not let your technique break down. This is a product of your warm-up sets, in my opinion. When you take those seriously, you're much more likely to stay in on your top sets. You'll see a lot of people on their top sets, on their heaviest weight, they start like moving around, squirming, their feet start moving, other musculature comes into play. I think this is also a product of how seriously you take your warm-up sets. When you take those serious, it transitions into your top sets and you're way better able to focus and perform. So now we're moving on to the third exercise, which is going to be this Life Fitness preacher curl. As you can see, because my chest is on like maintenance volume, I literally do barely anything for it. If you're trying to grow your chest, you're going to need more volume than that. Again, I'm only training chest at maintenance, so basically those 3 sets right there is all I need to maintain my musculature. Now we're going to move on to biceps. Biceps I have at like minimum effective volume, so just barely above maintenance. So we're gonna do 3 sets here. The first set, we're gonna aim for the 15 to 20 rep range, and then we're gonna keep the weight the same and just let the reps fall as we continue with the sets. And then after this, we're gonna move to a hammer curl. Before we go into the working set on here, we're gonna do 1 feeder set just to get used to the movement. A couple things to keep in mind with this machine is you want to make sure that your elbows and your triceps stay on the pad the entire time, and that you get a full stretch at the bottom. So you don't want your elbows coming up like this, and you also don't want to be stopping like here. Full range of motion all the way out, and make sure that when you're curling up, the elbows and the triceps stay in contact with the pad, so that way you know that you're only using your biceps to move the weight. So I do want to point out that although I said keep your elbows and your triceps on the pad, your elbow will come off the pad slightly. In order to fully contract and flex your bicep, that elbow is going to have to move off the pad a little bit. But the idea here is you want it to be as minimal as possible. You want the least moving parts, so that way you know that your bicep is being the main mover in the exercise. Also, in regards to bicep training and tricep training too, I feel these muscle groups respond much better to higher volumes, higher frequencies, higher rep ranges. I find that when you work them in the lower rep ranges with much heavier weights, it really only serves to cause a lot of joint problems, a lot of tendon issues, and it's just not really a good return on investment. Another way that I approach arms a little differently than other muscle groups too is that I'm okay with chasing a pump on biceps or chasing a pump on triceps. If you can get a gnarly pump in your arms, whether it's your biceps, your triceps, your shoulders, if you can get a really, really gnarly, painful pump, I can pretty much guarantee that you've caused enough disruption within that muscle to cause hypertrophy. Whereas, a pump isn't something that I would chase on, like, say if I'm doing squats. If I do a really heavy set on squats and my legs aren't pumped afterwards, I'm not going to be disappointed about that. If I do a really heavy set on squats, I'm probably just going to feel absolutely blasted after the set. It's not going to matter that I didn't get a pump. I know for sure that I've caused a lot of disruption to the muscle just by the nature of moving the weight from point A to point B. However, with arms, because the muscles there are so small and you're able to isolate them so well, I do think that chasing the pump has a good amount of validity in terms of trying to get them to grow. This is going to be the third and final set. So my second set, the reps dropped off by 6. So what I'm going to do here is drop the weight off so that I can at least match the reps or go a little bit higher, because I don't want the reps to drop off drastically again like they did on that second set. So I've dropped the weight by 1 pin, and I'm just going to go for hopefully somewhere in the 12 to 20 rep range right here. Okay, so moving on to the second bicep exercise, there's going to be 2 sets here. It's going to be a hammer curl. It's going to emphasize more of the top of your forearm and the outer part of your bicep. So one of the things I want to point out here is the execution of this exercise. This is probably one of the most butchered exercises of all time. The amount of people I see hammer curling 50s, 60s, 70s, and just using all body English, all momentum is just mind-blowing. Think about it like this. The smaller a muscle is, more likely the more precise your execution has to be in order to target that muscle. So as far as the working sets are concerned, I'm doing 2 working sets, like I said, in the 8 to 12 rep range. On the first set, I got 12. On the second set, I'm not exactly sure, I can't remember, but I did write it down in my logbook. So that's a total of 5 working sets for biceps. And the way that my microcycle works is it's on a 10-day rotation. So I essentially do 10 sets total for biceps within that 10-day period. Now, like I said, that's pretty much minimal effective volume for me. So my volume, if I was trying to grow my arms, could be much, much higher than this, but I'm just trying to do enough to get them to grow a little bit because I'm prioritizing my legs. Like, that's what I want to grow. So I'm giving as much recovery capabilities to them as I can. So everything on my physique that doesn't immediately need to improve is basically being put on maintenance volume. So that is why, I'm not doing many sets total for this workout. All right, so last movement of the day is going to be triceps, just a tricep press down right here with this attachment. It's going to be 3 sets. I'm going to follow basically the same pattern as I did with biceps. So first set, aiming for somewhere 15 to 20, let the next set drop off in reps, and then either decide to reduce the load or to keep the weight the same and do my third set at the same weight there. One thing I do want to point out here is that when you're doing triceps, do not do them like this, okay? All that does is reduce the amount of weight that you can actually do with your triceps, so it just reduces your output. If you have your hands over here, your tricep does not flex any differently. The musculature extends in the same way. So by doing it this way, basically you're just limiting yourself in how much you're going to grow your tricep. So make sure that your hands are pronated over the top and pressing, because that's how you're going to get your most power and the most output and the most growth. Also, make sure that you're not doing this, okay? This is not tricep press down. You need to stretch the tricep fully. So when you come up, make sure that you're stretching the tricep and then just extending from your elbow down. So I forgot to mention in the beginning of this video that I had planned on having a mic for this session. However, I didn't have the right adapter cable. So when I ordered the mic, I thought that the adapter cable I needed came with it. However, it came with a different adapter cable than I could use. So I had to go and order the other cable, which just came in. So hopefully on the next workout, I will be able to get that all set up and then have like more of a raw workout. I did a raw workout on that first leg day that we filmed. However, the music in the gym was just so loud, and because the phone can't distinguish between my voice and the audio, it just came out terribly. So I'm hoping that with this mic, it will be able to distinguish, between the music in the gym and my voice, and essentially just pick up my voice while drowning out the music in the gym, and that'll provide like a much better video quality overall. And then I'll be able to kind of provide more insights in the gym while I'm actually working out, because I won't have to worry about the music or getting copyrighted on YouTube, or the music drowning out my voice and all that kind of stuff. I've gotten feedback from you guys that you do like the voiceovers, which is great because I like doing them. I think it also lets me go more in depth on exercises and talk about things a little bit more at length. But one of the things I think you do miss with the voiceovers is the intensity of the workout. So I think that's something that having a mic in the gym and just being able to film like some raw sessions every now and then will give you a little bit of insight on, because I think you really miss the intensity when you're just looking at a silent video. And I do want to put that out there, that intensity is a very big part of bodybuilding and of trying to grow as much muscle as possible. You really do need to be bringing it. So I had a significant drop off on my second set, so I'm going to do what I said. I'm going to drop the weight by 1 pin and then just try to land again within that 12 to 20 rep range. So third and final set right here for triceps. These are on maintenance volume, just like my chest is on maintenance volume. However, do keep in mind that when you are doing pressing movements, so if you're doing a pressing movement for chest or if you're doing a pressing movement for shoulders, that these are also going to be involving your triceps. So if you really want to get into the finer details of accounting for volume, you can usually account 2 sets of a press for 1 set of triceps. So say you do 4 sets of bench press, you can count that for 2 sets of triceps if you want. Now, if triceps are really lagging on you, I wouldn't really recommend that. Treat the volume as normal and don't count a set like that towards your tricep work. Oh, that burns so bad. Just finished up chest and back. Again, this is maintenance volume, so if you're looking to grow these muscle groups, you're going to want to use a little more volume than that. Hopefully you're able to pick up some tips or some things that I said made sense, but we're going to wrap the video up right here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, I appreciate your support, and I will see you in episode number 6. Peace.